Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is David Novak. Next month it will be 9 years since I bought this book, and although it shows no signs of it, almost certainly I read the entire book. What surprises me now, or strikes me, less than surprises me, is how little I got out of it at that time. I am rereading it now. I've read the first essay and am into the second essay, which is dealing with Finley's time in New York while he was still Mo Finkelstein. And somehow, during this interim, these last 9 years, I have a better sense of the context. Even having read the Gulag Archipelago somehow helps me to understand better the ramifications of Stalinism in the United States and what is going on leading to Finley's expulsion. I wrote my poem, The Requiem, in 1998, in which I made reference to his exile. At that time, I don't think I knew anything at all about the substance of that exile or ostracism, in effect. Now I think I do. I've understood Finley's biography a little bit better for a while, possibly since reading this kind of thing. But now, for the first time, I'm understanding better the milieu, the environment in which he was existing, and more than that, his stature in that community, which I don't think I really understood. The next book that I bought after this about him features an essay by the historian Mary Beard, and if I get to that book next and reread that, I'll be curious to see how much more I can draw from that. He was quite a well-known figure. The one essay here even says that he escorted Einstein to the dais at, I think, Madison Square Garden. So he was a public figure. We today would say public intellectual, which is a phrase that I don't particularly subscribe to. But after all this time, I'm beginning to understand a little bit better who he is, and I think also why his writing upon matters of politics is so trenchant. I think well, now I don't remember the years, but at some point he has made a firm decision to return to academia. He may likely have been a member of the Communist Party, although there's only sketchy circumstantial pointers to that. But at some time, he decided to effectively disavow his past. I think it was 46, December of 46 maybe, that he changed his name. And of course, once his book, The World of Odysseus, was published, all kinds of doors began to open for him, and he did have a new life. One thing that I did not pick up on was his close association with the anthropologist Franz Boas, and the political organizing that they were doing, often at the elder man's behest. He was very much a proponent of anti-racist ideas in the United States at the time. All of that seems to almost make perfectly reasonable his later interests in antiquity. I'm surprised that 9 years ago, when I read this, I did not pick up any of that. Goodness knows if I had another 9 years ahead of me and was able to read this again in 9 years, I would be able to understand even more. At this point in time, it's not really important so much that I understand any of it. For me, it's personal pleasure. This kind of reading and learning feeds my soul in a way that, say, The House of Mirth by Edith Wharton, which I am currently in the midst of, does not. That is merely literature, if you will, although it is great American literature without a doubt. Now, I have decided, now that I have my eyes back, as Emily Dickinson might have said, I have decided to continue reading it via the LibriVox audiobook narrated by Elizabeth Klett. It's really a marvelous way to imbibe the story, so long as I can keep my focus on the words. I am not speeding it up at all. And so, to the extent that I am going to be using these eyes, I am going to be continuing along this vein, just because, as I say, this does feed me in a way that does not. Edith Wharton is definitely, my reading of Edith Wharton is definitely an outgrowth of my booktubing experience. I've seen her work recommended by so many, and it's a very fulfilling endeavor, all of this increased reading that I'm trying to do, becoming more literate. However, I mustn't neglect myself in this regard either. So I will continue to look at this book. It's a very short book, about 140 pages, and then perhaps continue into the next symposium collection about Finley, and then hopefully get back to reading as normal. Thank you very much for stopping by my channel.